In this life, nothing truly goes unpaid. Not lies, not betrayal, not the quiet harm people believe they managed to hide. Sometimes it feels like they did get away with it. Sometimes it feels like the person who hurt you continues living peacefully, moving forward, smiling, succeeding, while you are the one left carrying the weight of what happened. In those moments, a dangerous thought begins to grow in the mind. Maybe they should feel what they made you feel. Maybe revenge would restore balance. That thought is more common than most people admit. When someone treats you unfairly, the urge to respond in the same way can feel almost natural. It can feel like justice. It can feel like strength. Yet there is a deeper truth that many people only learn through experience. The moment you begin chasing revenge, you unknowingly hand over your peace. Instead of moving forward with your life, your energy becomes tied to someone else's actions. Your focus shifts from growth to retaliation, from healing to holding onto anger. If you stay with this idea long enough, you begin to notice something powerful about life itself. Life has a memory. Everything leaves a mark. Actions echo in ways people rarely predict. People may think they are clever enough to hide their behavior, but time has a way of exposing patterns. Balance returns quietly, precisely, and often in ways that are far more powerful than anything we could create through revenge. One of the clearest truths about life is that it settles every account. Life functions like a mirror reflecting what people send into the world. The reflection may not appear instantly, but it eventually returns. Deceit tends to come back as mistrust. Betrayal often returns as loneliness. Harm has a way of circling back through consequences people never expected. Consider how often we see this pattern play out in everyday situations. Someone may build a reputation by manipulating others or taking advantage of opportunities unfairly. At first, it appears to work. They seem to get ahead quickly. They receive praise or recognition they may not deserve. From the outside, it can feel frustrating to watch because it appears that dishonesty is being rewarded. But over time, something changes. People start to notice small inconsistencies. Trust slowly begins to erode. The same person who once seemed impressive becomes someone others approach with caution. Opportunities begin to disappear, sometimes quietly, sometimes suddenly. The behavior that once helped them climb becomes the reason they fall. Life works like a silent accountant. Every action, every word, every decision is recorded in ways we cannot always see immediately. The results accumulate slowly. The person who treats others with respect builds a network of goodwill. The person who spreads negativity eventually finds themselves surrounded by the same energy they created. Revenge, in comparison, often interrupts this natural process. When you retaliate, you involve yourself in the same cycle of negativity, and the line between who was wrong and who reacted begins to blur. Another reason revenge is unnecessary is because time is the most accurate judge. In moments of pain, it is easy to believe that what happened will never be corrected. The emotional weight of betrayal or injustice can make everything feel urgent. We want immediate answers, immediate consequences, immediate resolution. Yet time has a remarkable ability to reveal what emotions cannot see clearly. Situations that once looked unfair often unfold in unexpected ways months or years later. People reveal their true character through repeated behavior. Someone who lies once may convince others temporarily, but someone who lies consistently cannot maintain the illusion forever. Eventually, the truth surfaces through patterns. Think about people you may have known in the past. Perhaps there was someone who seemed successful because they cut corners or manipulated situations. At the time, it might have appeared that their strategy worked perfectly. But years later, their reputation may have shifted. The very shortcuts they relied on may have created problems they could not escape. At the same time, there are often individuals who appeared overlooked or underestimated in the beginning. They chose patience over shortcuts, honesty over manipulation, discipline over quick rewards. Their progress may have seemed slower at first, but their foundation was stronger. As time passed, their consistency became visible, and opportunities began to open in ways that felt almost effortless. Time rearranges people according to their actions. It does not rush, and it does not forget. What feels like injustice today may simply be an unfinished story. When people rush toward revenge, they often react to one moment without seeing how the larger story will unfold. Patience allows life to reveal what anger cannot. There is also a deeper balance that operates quietly within life. If you observe the world long enough, you begin to notice that certain behaviors naturally carry their own consequences. Arrogance, for example, often creates blindness. Someone who believes they are above everyone else stops listening to advice. They begin to ignore warnings. They take risks without considering the outcomes. For a while, that confidence might look impressive, but eventually it becomes a weakness. Life has a way of introducing experiences that humble people who refuse to learn voluntarily. Not out of cruelty, but out of balance. Situations arise that force them to confront the very things they ignored before. In contrast, people who move through life with humility and awareness tend to avoid many of those harsh lessons because they are constantly adjusting and improving. This quiet balance exists everywhere. The person who spreads negativity often finds themselves surrounded by conflict. The person who builds trust often discovers that others are willing to support them during difficult times. The person who consistently chooses discipline often experiences stability that others struggle to achieve. The balance is not always visible immediately. Sometimes it unfolds slowly, almost invisibly, but the pattern appears again and again for those who pay attention. Because of this natural balance, revenge often becomes unnecessary. Life already has a way of correcting extremes. Another powerful truth is that silence can be a form of strength. Many people assume that responding aggressively to injustice proves courage. They believe silence means weakness. Yet silence often requires far more control than reaction. When someone provokes you, your immediate emotional response may be anger. The desire to defend yourself or retaliate can feel overwhelming. Choosing silence in that moment does not mean you accept what happened. It means you refuse to let someone else control your behavior. Silence protects dignity. It prevents situations from escalating into conflicts that consume your time and energy. It also denies others the satisfaction of seeing you react emotionally. Some people thrive on provoking reactions because it gives them a sense of power. When they fail to get that reaction, their influence weakens. There are many moments in life where responding immediately would only make a situation worse. A heated argument, an unfair accusation, a disrespectful comment. These moments often tempt us to react instantly. Yet when people step back and allow time to pass, they often realize that responding calmly later produces a far better outcome. Silence also creates space for clarity. Emotions can distort perception, making situations appear more extreme than they actually are. When you allow yourself time to reflect, you often see the situation from a wider perspective. You recognize what truly matters and what does not. Perhaps the most important reason to let go of revenge is that everyone eventually harvests what they plant. Every decision creates momentum in a particular direction. A person who repeatedly chooses dishonesty gradually shapes a life filled with distrust and unstable relationships. A person who chooses responsibility and integrity gradually builds a life supported by trust and respect. The results may not appear instantly, but the direction becomes clearer over time. People sometimes enjoy moments of success built on harmful behavior, but those moments rarely last. The same path that once seemed easy often becomes the road that teaches them the harshest lessons. It is similar to planting seeds in a field. Some seeds grow quickly but produce weak plants that cannot survive harsh weather. Other seeds grow slowly but develop strong roots that sustain them for years. The harvest always reflects what was planted. When someone hurts you, it is easy to focus entirely on their actions. Your mind replays the event again and again, searching for ways to correct it. But this focus often traps you in the past. The more productive question is not how to make them suffer, but how to ensure your own life continues moving in a positive direction. Your actions today shape your future just as their actions shape theirs. If you respond with anger and revenge, you plant seeds that may create more conflict in your own life. If you respond with patience and growth, you plant seeds that strengthen your future. Think of life like gravity. You cannot see gravity itself, yet its influence is constant. Nothing rises or falls without responding to it. In a similar way, actions carry consequences whether people acknowledge them or not. You do not need to force those consequences into existence. Life already moves in that direction. This realization can be incredibly freeing. It means you do not have to carry the burden of delivering justice personally. You do not have to spend your time planning retaliation or holding onto resentment. Your responsibility is simply to live in a way that protects your own integrity and peace. When you release the need for revenge, you reclaim your energy. Instead of being defined by what someone did to you, you become defined by how you choose to move forward. That shift alone can transform the direction of your life. The truth is simple but powerful. You are not unprotected. Life has a memory far stronger than any personal grudge. It does not need your anger to restore balance. It operates quietly, patiently, and often more accurately than human judgment ever could. So rather than chasing revenge, focus on building a life that reflects your values. Invest your time in growth, in relationships that matter, in goals that bring meaning to your days. Allow life to handle the rest. Because in the end, life has a precise and silent way of giving everyone exactly what they deserve.